Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Ducks Unlimited. Go check out your local DUs, see what's going on, give us some money, help them out.
Give them money.
Give them some money. That's what life's all about, money. That's what it's about. Give them some money so they can build some duck stuff.
Takes money to make money.
I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver, and with us today from Kansas City, Missouri, Mr. Michael Hunsucker. I got a question for you. You a Chief fan?
Oh, you betcha.
The Chiefs are catching hell, and I don't agree with this. They're catching hell because they went to the White House yesterday.
Why?
In social media, they are getting grilled for supporting dipshit Joe Biden.
They didn't support him. They just
That's
went
what
there.
I'm not against them. It's an opportunity. You won the Super Bowl. I think it's an honor. I don't respect or appreciate Joe Biden at all. But still the president of the United States, if you get a chance to go to the White House, you should do that. So I'm on the Chiefs side, and I think it's bullshit they're catching shit for that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You know, it's one of those deals where it's like the organization, it's been, I think it's become such a tradition with all big sports, you know, and of course, everybody's got an angle, right? They're just trying to get their name in front of the right people to influence certain things. And so, don't even get me started on politics, but you know, it would be hard for me as a Chiefs player to be excited about that, like because of all that comes with it. But at the same time, like the opportunity to like see the White House and everything, it's like that this country kind of stands for. Like I don't know, we're in a weird place right now.
We are, and they are catching shit for it. And my thing is, I can't stand Joe Biden. I can't stand the Democrats. I don't anything they're in line with. I'm complete opposite of, but. If you get invited to the White House because you won the NFL or the hockey or baseball it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for most people. You know, the chances the Chiefs winning another Super Bowl are pretty slim, even though it's hard to win the Super Bowl. They have a great team. They've got a little dynasty going, but there's no guarantees they'll make it there again. Patrick Mahomes could break his leg the first game and then their chances are down the tubes. I mean, it's such you got to get some breaks to win the Super Bowl. They have the talent. You need to go. You may never get that opportunity again. So
yeah, and you might get to see Sleepy Joe fall over. You never know.
Did you see the kids laughing at Air Force when it happened? The cadets, they showed stills of them. They were laughing their ass off. I thought, don't be laughing. That's your boss.
He did.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's for sure.
He took a big tumble. That sandbag, like whoever put that sandbag there, they were like, "Why would you do that?"
Was there a sandbag really?
Yes,
there really was one.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't think there was anything. So.
No, I'm pretty sure there was a sandbag because he turns around and points at it. You know that because I'm sure somebody cut a corner just like, oh, fuck it, leave it there. It's fine, whatever. And then they were like, no, I don't know. And then it happened, and he's like, shit.
Our last two Democratic president, one's gotten sandbagged, the other one's been teabagged. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Is this the year that Kelsey falls off? Does Father Time catch up with Travis Kelce this year?
Man, I don't know. He's he's playing better than ever. I feel like
he is,
even though he's getting older.
Timeless.
Yeah, he's just doing great. And I mean, it helps when you have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, and just like the Brady dynasty, it really didn't matter who you surround guys like that with. Like listen, they're professional athletes paid to catch the ball, regardless of what level they're at. Like they're all good. They're all pretty dang good.
Yeah.
If you're putting the ball where it needs to be. So that's why he's been able to elevate so many other players. And, we haven't had obviously Kelsey's very, one of the best ever at that position. But from a wide receiver standpoint, we haven't had, other than Tyreek Hill, who doesn't even really, in my mind, like pop up as like a weapon wide receiver, obviously completely different style and type of player, but a huge weapon type like wide receiver. We haven't really had that. And so we've had a bunch of guys and they all just kind of contribute and they're all quick and you get open and pack and put the ball where it needs to be. So
why do Chief fans always downplay Tyreek Hill, how great he was? Have you noticed that? Ricky Keller does that shit all the time.
Yeah, no, I wasn't doing that. A lot of it's probably because their butt hurt because he left. He went to chase that money. But man, for Tyreek, you look at a guy like, and this is my personal opinion, but you look at a guy like Patrick Mahomes who just carries himself so well, and then you look at a guy like Tyreek who's obviously incredibly talented, but just can't stop running his mouth and just constantly putting his foot in his mouth and saying stuff. I'm just like, dude, you're good, but don't be so arrogant and so cocky. It's going to come back to bite you. And he was saying stuff about when he went to Miami about how great
Tua,
what's his name, their quarterback was going to be.
Just as good as Mahomes, he said.
Yeah, and just make it. Which whatever. It's the world we live in, right? You got to be loud to get attention, and that's what he's doing. That's all he was doing.
Let's be fair here. I am a Chief fan. I grew up a Chief fan, but it's so hard to be a Chief fan nowadays because all the bandwagon jumpers in West Texas. Not the bandwagon jumpers in Missouri, but the ones in West Texas that have any inclination of going to a Walmart in Lubbock or actually did go to Texas Tech. They're all Chief fans now, so they drive me crazy. Patrick Mahomes is probably the best guy quarterbacking in the league right now, but there's some other good quarterbacks. He's a top 10 quarterback of all time probably right now already. And he's had great talent around him, and he's got a great offensive coach. Tyreek Hill, if Tua didn't get all them concussions this year, Miami was really a good football team, a really good football team, and Tyreek put up some great numbers. But Tyreek is not Justin Jefferson, and he's not Jamar Chase. He's a different kind of weapon, but he is a freaking flat-out stud, and
he's fast.
He's got great hands too.
Yeah.
He's got damn good hands. He's very talented, and he's smart. He's retiring after next year. He says he's playing his contract out and he's going to be done, and hopefully he gets out without being beat up and hurt and stuff. But the Chiefs got a great thing going. Andy was going for Cincinnati, so Andy, you're a Bengals fan now, right?
Cousin Joe.
I'm
trying to get this dirt dauber.
I
hate summertime.
If this is with the season starting tomorrow, I would say Kansas City is the overwhelming favorite to go to the Super Bowl and win it again. I really do. I think that.
Yeah.
But my God, the Kansas City Chief fans, the bandwagon jumpers out here will wear you the hell out. Even for you Chief fans, I'm telling you. So, how long do you think Andy Reid keeps quarterbacking or coaching? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I have a feeling that he isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I think he kind of said that on an interview. Somebody asked him, and I mean, how could you, right? I mean, how could you walk away from the position that he's in right now, and that he's kind of earned, in my opinion. And so I don't see him going away anytime soon, especially with the long-term contract with Mahomes and just this foundation that they've built in Kansas City. I don't know that he's going anywhere.
He got a bad
before Mahomes' contract.
He got a bad break in Philly because T.O. broke his leg on that horse collar tackle. And if that don't happen, Philadelphia probably does win that Super Bowl that year.
Well, I mean, that'd be like calling a hunt early, just because, I mean, you're getting to the best part of the day, and you're like, fuck it. I'm ready to go home. It's like, no, you put in all this time and work. You put in 20 years, and now you got a nest egg with Mahomes. I mean, he's going to be a cash cow for you. Like, ride that out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, and he seems like he's having as much fun as he ever has. I mean, how could you not? I mean, that's kind of what you dream of.
Oh, man, he's got it made. Now I saw where people are complaining over Mahomes is underpaid now.
Oh,
he signed the 10-year, $500 million contract or something.
Yeah, I saw that, and that's everything with the NFL, right? I mean, the next year, it's always the next big contract, and I think he said something like, "I've got enough money where like." Who cares? Like I'm made. The rest of my life's made. My family, like I don't got it. Like I don't need to worry about that. So, not to mention like the endorsement stuff. Like that stuff still increases no matter what. His contract may kind of stay the same, but if he keeps winning, keeps carrying that legacy on, then he's those endorsements are going to roll in.
Yeah, he's going to make way more money off the field than he will on the field.
If
he plays it right.
The people in Baltimore would sure be happy to have Mahomes under their contract.
Hey, did you see today where the PGA Tour caved and they're going to merge with the LIV?
No.
Yep. Happened this morning.
That's what I said too when I heard that. There's no way.
I don't follow professional golf. I love to golf, and I follow it slightly. But I've just been talking to some of my buddies who golf more and just learning about that whole deal. And I actually watched some of that documentary they put out. And that was cool. Like
I like that.
For a guy like me who's like, I I'm not going to sit around on Sunday and like watch golf like intently, but like when you see everything that goes on behind the scenes and the lives and that kind of stuff, like that makes it intriguing to me. So that was kind of cool to watch. But that is crazy. I cannot believe the PGA. That's one of my things. I've always been like about golf. Like I love to golf because it's social. It's fun. You get out there, you have fun. You're drinking, whatever. Well, some of these guys on the PGA tour, you know, like on that the waste management deal, like the guy that took his shirt off and like threw it around, they like fined him and like made him apologize. I'm like, oh, sorry for having fun. It's like the PGA ruins everything that like his golf is supposed to be about because trying to make it all ritzy. So that's
well, cool. It's a rich man sport. There ain't a kid playing on the pro golf. There's not very many, if there's any. I would bet if you looked at the top 50 highest ranked golfers, I bet all 50 of them little fuckers are rich kids.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like those guys that are the elite golfers are guys that grew up from 4 or 5 years old golfing. You know what I mean? That's
one thing I'll say for the NBA and the NFL is you can come from the hood and you got a shot. There ain't very many tennis players or golf players coming out of the projects.
Right.
I mean,
that game is much more of a learned talent, I feel like, too, like, you know, repetitions and that type of stuff, as opposed to like actual physical, literally just physical ability that your genetics are born with. Like, doesn't quite play into the.
Yeah, I don't know who is the best golfer in the world right now.
Phil? Is it Phil?
No,
Rory?
It's probably Justin Spieth, the kid from Texas, one of those Texas kids.
No, not Spieth, man. What's his?
No,
I'm drawing a blank right now. No, Bryson DeChambeau. He's up there. It's Scotty Scheffler is kind of.
Yes.
He's kind of dominating right now.
Scheffler,
Scotty Scheffler,
John Rahm, and Rory McIlroy.
You take all three.
Yep.
You take all three of them, and you put them in football or basketball. They could be decent athletes, but they're golfers.
Well. I've got to imagine you got a pretty good golf, like the mental part of it. Are you okay at? Because I mean, you're a bow hunter, so like you're used to quieting your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's funny. I never golfed growing up. My dad, you know, he would golf once, twice a year, just with business stuff or whatever. And so I never grew up. I never golfed till college. And literally, some buddies were golfing. I ordered a set of clubs, like cheap $300 set, and went out and started playing with them. And they're like, "You've never golfed before?" And I was like, "No, you're pretty dang good." And I love to say that because it's like, oh man, it made me feel good. I have gotten zero better at golf. I'm still that same level, but it's you know, a lot of it is because like, yeah, I'm just out there having fun and like I don't let it get to my head, and the mental side of things is a lot of it too, for sure. Like you said, you start thinking about stuff. I shot trap collegiately. And it's the same thing, man. Like you get in your head and you fall apart. And so that's what I was dying watching that Full Swing documentary. I think it was Brooks Koepka was just, you know, super talented, but just constantly getting in his own head. And he actually just won the last deal, I think. Kind of came back and won it. And so yeah, the mental side of things is insane. When you get to that point, all those golfers are elite talent golfers. And to win consistently, all the best of the best in all sports are just have a really head on the shoulders.
If you go to just an average country club out there and you see the guys that are the best of the country club, you're thinking, fuck, how can someone be 10 strokes better than these guys? It's just absolutely crazy, because I got a buddy of mine that's a really good golfer and he's 55, and I would not be surprised if he tried to go to the PGA Tour, the senior tour, because he's getting better as he's getting older. And I've played with him a lot of times, and he's a scratch golfer. And I think he told me the best he shot the other day, he shot 68 somewhere, 4 under somewhere. Well, fuck, that's awesome. But the same other guys are shooting 62 on that course. And it's just crazy how good you can be and still not be up to where them guys are. But the mental aspect is, I can't imagine walking up to try to hit a 10-foot putt with $4 million on the line.
Right.
I mean, fuck it.
Yeah.
Or going to drive and
I saw
you got people on every side of you.
Oh, they wouldn't be that way with me very long.
300 people or however many people at the hole. Like, so you've got just an alley to shoot down.
Well, Andy, you're the guy on Top Golf that hit the guy on by the bar behind him. So
he's fine. He lived.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I saw some stat on Tiger Woods, and it was like, just, I don't even remember the stat, but it was about just his winning and how many tournaments he won compared to other people. And it was mind blowing, but, Hey, good transition into Chiefs talk and golf talk. We're getting ready to have our Heartland premiere coming up here, and it'll be June 16th and 17th. The premiere is the 17th. On the 16th, we're actually doing a charity golf tournament, and this is our second year. We've always done it in the past where we basically just like our crew and the Heartland Waterfowl crew and just our guys and people that were in town and some sponsors, whatever, would go out and play for fun. And then people started saying at the premiere, like, hey, like we saw you guys were golfing, like we want to golf too. And so we were like, yeah, let's do make a charity tournament. And so last year we did it, sold it out in like a couple of weeks. This year, same thing, sold it out right away. And so got a pretty good turnout, and we're looking forward to doing that. So I've only been out once this year, so I better get out and get some practice in. But
what's the charity that you
regardless.
guys are raising money for?
So this year we've kind of done it a couple different charities over the years. This year we're partnered with a charity called Peace Partnership. They're out of Kansas City, and they kind of bring basically counseling services to people who have mental health issues. So we've kind of tried to find something that's somebody has some ties to in some way. Last year we did it with a charity that focused on a lot of rehabilitation for human trafficking victims. And so, yeah, it's cool. It's fun to learn more about those charities and kind of, find ones that really, have good ties to our group of people and that, fit well and have missions that we can kind of get behind. And, so it's been fun. We raised a bunch of money. I want to say like $25,000 last year for one of the charities, and actually it was pretty cool. One of the items that we did an auction, and one of the items was a limited edition Duckland or duck call, and my mother-in-law bid it up outrageous. My mother-in-law, who knows nothing about duck hunting, whatever, just like was just so moved by the story behind the human trafficking that she bid it up and then donated it back, and then another waterfowl hunter ended up buying it. But anyway, it's cool. It's a fun event. The premiere is great. We show a couple episodes, an episode of Heartland Bowhunter, and then an episode of Heartland Waterfowl from the new season that's coming out. And so it's always fun just to get together with. It's crazy, as I'm sure you guys know, with your kind of group and team of guys. Like everybody's going in so many directions and so many, all the time, that it's like rare that we all get together. And so as much as it is like an event for people in Kansas City and make it a big party, like it's an event for us too, and all of us getting together and hanging out because we don't get to see each other all the time.
How many teams are in this golf tournament?
So it's an 36 team scramble. So it's a shotgun start, 18-hole shotgun start. So we put 2 teams on each hole and
go that way,
and run with it. So it's fun.
Very cool. Yeah, that trafficking thing, man, that had to be a tough one. Like just hearing some of the stories and from the organization that guys that run that organization, I'm like, geez, talk about ripping your heart out.
Yeah, it's crazy the stuff that goes on that doesn't get any attention when we have all this other stuff going on that is literally dumb and just gets all the attention out there in the media. So it's an interesting world we live in now when it comes to just media and content and how people are consuming and getting their information.
The crazy thing is how they can censor stuff that the majority of Americans would like to know about. They really do. I mean, like the child sex trafficking, I can't think of any demographics in this country other than a 1% deal that would actually think that's okay, that doesn't want that stopped.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
But let's just don't talk about it. Let's don't talk about I've talked about this, the Epstein list, Who the hell they arrest Epstein,
exactly.
but not one person that he was trafficking kids to? Well, then you find out, well, it's Bill Gates and Bill Clinton and the head of NBC and ABC and CBS. Well, shit, no wonder they're not telling us, because it's all the people that are in power. And it's just a sick fucking world. But
now this is the far out conspiracy that I've recently heard about this. That was all propped up by Epstein was a fake billionaire, they said.
CIA.
Propped up by the CIA to get these billionaires into their pocket.
Yes, they're blackmailing them. You're right.
That's all it was about, was to get these guys on that island, and then they've got you forever.
First of all, it's not just guys.
Well, whoever.
What's
these
the lesbian talk show host lady with
Ellen?
Ellen. She was part of it. Shit.
Right.
All those people are part of it, but they do cover it up, and it's all, Bill Gates is involved in. He was blackmailing Bill Gates and all these other people. But yes, I've read the same thing, that the CIA was using him as basically a pimp to pull all these people in.
Well, we had Seth Yon on not too long ago, and he's basically he's a contractor now. He's a freedom fighter, but he goes to these places and he frees slaves now. There's more slaves. There's more people enslaved today than there ever was at the height of the 1700s and when America was getting built. Like there's way more. It's not even close to there's way more slaves today than there was back then when the slave trade that we're supposed to apologize for was at its height. But nobody talks about it.
Yeah, it's wild. It's for me at least. It's at a point where it's like, we're in a day and age where like technology is at the height of technology, and we have the ability to, like, if somebody does something and you capture it on video, like there you go, you have it on video. But then now it's almost a point to where like there's so much stuff that's fake that's like that's not actually, it's edited or like even the facial replacement stuff. Like the technology for that kind of stuff is crazy. Yes. And so it's like now like what do you believe? Like
that's going to be a big problem, because I saw a clip not too long ago. It was an AI generated Joe Rogan interview, and there's like 10 minutes, and you can get it to say whatever you want. Like make a 5-minute tirade of Joe Rogan talking about how he hates black people or how he hates women or whatever, and like it was convincing. Like there were a couple like little things that you could kind of tell this was fake, but like as that technology progresses and we keep putting our voices and our faces out on the internet, it's just going to have more to pull from. Cause that's basically all it did, is it just pulled different words from everything and mashed it all together and made sentences and paragraphs. And like, it was,
did you see
scary. It's called the deep fake.
Did you see the AI with the what's that called?
Snapchat.
No, GPT or
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT, yes. Where they took the guy in a business suit in a meeting and they transformed him into being an NBA player. And it showed him, his face, his body, but he was wearing a business suit, dunking and playing basketball, and he took the role of some player that was in the game. And that's the way they could do it. And you couldn't tell it wasn't that fucking guy.
Really?
You'd be like, who's the clown in the suit out there running around dunking on these guys?
It's going to be a problem.
And that was...
Can you guys do that?
Right, yeah.
On the screen here?
You'll be a good golfer. Next thing you know, like,
please,
your charity golf event, you'll just run away with it.
I'm gonna be the next Matthew McConaughey and where's the dancer, Chippendale guy?
Oh, Magic Mike.
Yeah, I'm Magic Jeff.
Magic Jeff.
Hey, let's talk deer hunting for just a second.
It's June,
and we have had a shitload of rain. All of western Texas, the Oklahoma. And I've got some deer hunts available. We're going to have record horns this year. The deer in Texas is going to be absolutely amazing this year.
You think so? Huh?
Yes.
Man, I'm jealous. We've been dry.
We were until about April 1st. It started to rain a little bit. In May, we already have had 5 inches of rain in June. What's today, the 6th, 7th? And when we had 5, for us, we're setting at around 13 to 15 inches of rain. Our normal rainfall for the year is 23. We're at 13 to 15. We've had most of that the last 3 months. We've got quail everywhere. We're gonna have great dove because we haven't had severe weather. We've just had rain, and we've got and the deer population. The deer are gonna be wonderful for them. There's food. There's grass everywhere. And it's supposed to be a wet summer and
awesome.
fall. So western Texas and northwest Texas and western Oklahoma, the deer should be incredible this year.
I thought y'all guys were getting rain.
We've gotten rain the past like week or so, a couple times, like past couple weeks, like a couple small rains, but it's been before that. It's really dry. We still need some rain though. Yeah, it's
now,
been
when
pretty
do you
sparse.
start doing like food plots and stuff like that?
So we do a lot of eagle seed corn and beans in the spring. So we've got those planted already. We plant corn, in April and in the May, and then we got the beans planted already and they're coming up. So I mean we got good germination, but that corn gets to a point where it gets fried pretty quick. So
they started doing corn here also, and but they pick it around like the 4th of July, so it's early. They harvest it pretty early.
I saw some with tassels yesterday.
Short season.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, we already got tassels on corn right now, and we got corn went from being freaking ankle to knee deep to 8 foot tall in about a week or two, it seems like. But it's been perfect. It's been wet and cool and warms up a little bit during the day, and then it rains. We get a quarter to half inch of rain every day, it seems like right now, and I'm not complaining at all. We need it.
What was your turkey season like? Did you have good success there?
Yeah, we had a great season. I kicked things off my first hunt this year. Let's see. First hunt I went out to Kansas. Usually we'll go to either Nebraska or Kansas because the archery season's open early. So I did a hunt out in Kansas with the guys from Trophy Rock, and had never hunted that area, so that was kind of cool. I enjoy like just hunting different areas and places, and that's what's kind of neat about wild turkeys is they thrive in so many different areas and different topographical terrain features but anyway, this was kind of like I'd say East Central. East Central Kansas. But a lot of it's further once you get out of into the Flint Hills area. So you get out of the timber. There's not a lot of timber. It's just basically creek draws and river bottoms and stuff like that. And populations there are starting to rebound quite a bit. It seems like this year, from what I'd seen, you guys have, I'm sure, heard and talked about all the different, population decline, and we've seen it, of course, across the state. But fortunately for us, a lot of the properties that we hunt and manage, we do a lot of habitat stuff, and our populations local on those particular farms are incredible. As long as we don't have a couple of super bad like springs where you get a ton of rain and wash out a bunch of nests, and plus we've been trapping too. Missouri, they extended the trapping season for raccoons this past year, and so allowed us to really knock them back. I think that's
so you have been trapping also.
That with a that with a good nesting season and having a lot of good nesting habitat seems to be doing really well.
How many raccoons did you take off of like one of your properties? Any idea?
So like on my home farm, I was somewhere around
Holy
70
shit.
in a year span.
That many?
Yeah, 70, and that's and that's trapping in the farm's bigger, but I'm trapping the area I was focused on is probably 80-acre area.
Wow.
And then some of our other guys were catching, have caught up to over 100 in certain ones. Just unbelievable overpopulation.
So
of
do
raccoons.
they move in?
And
do they move in like when one leaves, or are there just that many raccoons in that little area at a given time?
I think they do. I think they do move in. I think they kind of disperse, depending on pressure and population and stuff. I don't know a ton about their actual aspect of it. But they are pretty unbelievable, the populations. And they're a nest predator, and, they're not single-handedly destroying turkey populations across the country, but they're definitely influencing it from what I've gathered. And just from us trapping the past couple of years, putting an emphasis on it has helped a ton.
We had a lady on a couple months ago. She was a raccoon lover. And anyway, somebody in Texas was doing a raccoon trapping tournament, and it got a lot of bad publicity because they basically kill these things by any means necessary. And of course, the raccoon lovers, they pull out clips of people clubbing raccoons. And so anyway, but we had this lady on, and I did not realize I'd been hearing everybody, talking about the turkey decline and raccoons being a problem, but I did not realize how big of a problem raccoons actually were. Like there was somewhere, and I'm trying to find that article right now, and I can't off the top of my head, but like in some places they're up like by 20 times what they were in the 80s.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a few of the raccoon tournaments results in Missouri, and guys and just piles of raccoons.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable. I got some buddies that run them with dogs too, and it's supposed to be a lot of fun and enjoyable. And then one thing I haven't done yet, and I wanted to is try to call them in with an e-collar. Yep. Obviously, not going to be an effective way of managing a coon population, but a fun way to hunt them.
It looks like a lot of fun.
If you know where their den trees are. They're like little grizzly bears, man. They'll come charging out and tackle the call, and they're It looks like a lot of fun.
See a surge of over 268% in the last 16 years. This is in Iowa, which, they've got a lot of, good cropland and stuff like that. So
Cropland and timber, yeah.
Up 268% in the last 16 years and an increase of 23% in the last year alone. Raccoons. But yeah, I've seen those videos on Instagram where like this freaking miniature grizzly bear just comes lumbering out of the woods and just full tilt and just smokes this e-collar. I wanted to do it also, but life gets in the way.
I know, it's like one of those things, it would be fun, but you got to really dedicate to it. And I'm sure once if I go do it and have a good hunt and call one in, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I want to do it more.
Right. Yeah. But our turkey population, we got a new piece of property this year. Well, the property that we hunted this year, I noticed that it seemed like there was more gobbling. So I think hopefully we're kind of coming out of the lull that we were in the last couple of years. They were vocal for whatever reason.
Yeah.
A lot of times they were too vocal and they just didn't come in for whatever reason. I've figured out, I thought I loved turkey hunting. Now I don't know. I got my ass kicked a lot this year.
They'll do that to you. They're funny how that works. They seem like they're the dumbest thing in the world one day, and then the smartest thing in the world the next day. Did you notice that your birds
were like decoy shy at all? Well, you're hunting them. You have to have a decoy. Well, you hunt, right?
Yeah, we have to. I mean, it's just we run and gun with a bow and just no ground blind or anything. So like, you could do it without a decoy. It would be very difficult. But usually, if you call a gobbler in without a decoy, he's not. I mean, he might come in strutting a little bit, whatever. And the biggest thing for us is like when he struts and turns away and blocks his head with his fan, that's like the best. That's like the only way, not the only way, but one of the only ways to get drawn back without him boogieing. So, we use decoys, but not this year. I didn't have any issues, or last year really much with birds being decoy shy. But before that, I mean, there's been certain seasons, but particularly like 3 years ago and 4 years ago, I'm talking like I had like some mind-boggling hunts to where like, all right, I've roosted the bird. I know exactly what tree he's in. I sneak in super early, set up literally 100 yards from the roost, put the decoy out. Like in all other turkey hunting situations, like that bird flies down and comes to the decoy and dies every time. And I had situations where literally bird pitches down the bottom tree, hens fly out, hens come into the decoys. The gobbler looks at the decoys and walks away. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so like, then I'm like, oh yeah, must have been because we had a strutter decoy, or must have been because we had a Jake decoy. Maybe he was timid. Maybe he wasn't aggressive. I did it with hen decoys. Same result. Like live hens in the decoys with a hen decoy, same result. And I was like, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was pressure related. I didn't know if it was the time of the breeding cycle that they were in. I don't know, but I've definitely had over the years. I've had certain years. It seems like it's years when that happens, and when it happens all season long. Yeah. So I don't know what to attribute that to, but it can be unbelievably frustrating.
That's what happened to me this year. There were several times that I know he saw it because my setup, the goose hunter comes out in me. So I got 3 decoys. I got a Jake, a laydown hen, and like a regular hen walking around. That's the goose hunter in me. I got to set out my decoys. And
that's my minimum
3.
Spread.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not alone.
Oh yeah, you that's my usual. Yeah,
I'm glad I'm not alone.
Yeah, we hunt early when they're flocked up. We'll put out a flock, really? Like 7 or 8 of them, just for the hell of it. Yeah. That. I do have my limits, but there was one in particular. It was towards the end of the season, one of my last hunts of the year, and set out my decoys, sit down, and the first call that I make, he sounds off, and he is perfect. Like he's just in the timber. I know exactly how he's going to come, and he gets up on a hill, gobbles his head off for like 45 minutes, and does not leave that hill. Sees everything. Sees the setup and will not budge. Fans, he'll walk back and forth, come back. All I could do right there. That's as good as it got. He was 100 yards away. Yeah, I've had them do that a lot, and I think a lot of that is them being stubborn, like them wanting the hens to come to them kind of deal, and maybe they're not the most aggressive, maybe they're not the dominant bird in the area or whatever, so they're not gung ho to come running looking for a fight, but they're like kind of just on the sidelines, just lurking, just hoping that one straggles his way.
And then then you're like playing the guessing game, like, well, shit, if I'd have set up 50 yards closer, like, would that have been the distance where it would have pissed him off enough to come in? And I don't know, I didn't have a very successful turkey season. I had a lot of fun though, because our birds are vocal as hell, and as long as they're gobbling, like, it keeps me interested. If they shut up completely and I didn't get to hear anything all day, I wouldn't be a turkey hunter.
Right.
Hey,
it was. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I couldn't hunt Easterns is what I'm getting at. Not full time, at least.
Oh, I was just going to say, a couple of years ago, it got to like, when it was that 2 years ago, when it was like bad, I was like, this is like, I can deal with this. Cause I enjoy the chase and the pursuit, but like I was taking my kids out and I was like, my kids aren't going to want a turkey hunt. Like, they're like, there's 0% chance we're going to kill one, because they literally won't come into a decoy. They'll go the other way, or they won't come to a call even with no decoy. Like, they'll frustrate you to no end.
I'm going to change it up for just a second. Andy, I know you did earlier because you're talking about, I just saw this. Have you seen the ladies eating the deer, the witches?
Yeah, I just saw that. I'll send it to you, Michael.
No, I have not.
Yeah, so like there's a game camera. Guy has like a horse farm or something, and
They found a dead deer.
Found a dead deer on the side of the road that had been rotting there. And on this guy's game camera, Ring Video doorbell or whatever.
No, he put a game cam up to see what animals would come up to it, because their horses are spooked a lot.
And two witches in like
just wearing thongs.
Yeah, just thongs basically came up and started eating on this dead carcass.
I mean, it's on Fox News. I just saw it on Fox News. I was looking through there and I saw it and I thought, Andy was talking about that. Man goes, I got to look it up. So I read the article real quick. It's some weird shit. There are some weird fuckers out there.
I'm going to send you the picture.
That is
Andy's sending you a link to it. It's crazy. I mean,
I'm just going to send you the screenshots of the witches.
You imagine, watching one lady said it's 2 minutes from her house, a 2-minute walk from her house is where it's at, and to see two naked ladies eating a freaking deer carcass.
What's the craziest thing you've seen on like game cameras and stuff, or when you've been out into the woods? Because everybody's seen something that they can't quite identify.
Yeah. I've gotten some like mountain lions on camera. I got a giant black bear on camera out in Colorado, on like the Eastern Plains where they're not real prevalent. And had some, coyotes and tons of bobcats and stuff with like prey in their mouth and stuff like that. But trying to think of the craziest thing. I mean, we got a video of a fawn, of a mom at a pond, like drinking. In the background, you hear a coyote howl and yelping and the fawn bawling. And then she runs off and you hear her blowing and stomping around and stuff. And,
I just sent you those. So you don't have anything like this. I just sent them. I just text them to you. It is.
Okay. Witchcraft. What in the heck?
Yeah, it's just this dead deer.
What?
And they get this on their game cam.
Can you imagine? Here it is. An innocent guy, married guy, comes home, enjoying his dinner, whatever. Wife drives in and sees these ladies on the side of the road in their front yard, basically. And that poor boy's getting his ass chewed out. Oh yeah, just some naked women in thongs out here, huh?
In one of those pictures, if you blow it up, you can see a guy's leg. He's got like a boot and pants on, where the lady's like standing over it, where she looks like she's kind of like blessing it or something.
Yeah, yeah.
You can see a man's or somebody's leg with shoes and pants on. So
those people right there are probably them 1%ers that don't care about the child sex trafficking and crap.
I'd be getting ready to move, is what I would be getting ready to do.
Whoa, hold on, Andy.
Drugs are a bad thing. That's all I'm going to say.
That's exactly what that is. That's some meth monsters. Except that one girl's kind of healthy. She's got some big yabos too.
Actually, now that I'm looking at this, the first picture where they're both bent down over it, I think the one on the right is wearing pants. So that.
Oh, is that the same
so
one?
So it's probably the same. It's probably that person.
Who walks around with a fucking thong on?
That's
and
not
a serape. The one chick's got.
No, I don't know what you call that thing. That's a serape?
I think so. It's just a wraparound garment.
It's like a cave outfit.
Yeah. I mean, and go around eating fucking deer carcasses.
But the guy was saying like his horses spook all the time in that little area. So,
well, they're probably like ooh, witchcraft.
The people there think it's skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers.
That's what they call them.
That ain't skinwalkers.
Hey guys, give me 1 second. My dog's coming in here. Hold on.
All right, we're going to talk skinwalkers anyways. What do you mean they're not skinwalkers?
Those are meth heads, is what those are.
That one lady's too healthy to be a meth head.
Well, crackhead.
They're too healthy for that too. I'm not saying she's not fucked up on psychedelics.
Maybe they're early on in their crack addiction and they haven't lost all the weight.
So you don't think that's any sort of witch deal? You just think some lady...
I didn't say that.
Well, I'm asking you.
But a witch is not a skinwalker.
I'm just saying that people around there say it's skinwalkers.
That's not a skin. I've seen a skinwalker.
When have you seen a skinwalker?
So I'm on TikTok. That's all you see on TikTok.
You know, I do not watch TikTok much, but I did do TikTok the other day, and
these are skinwalkers. Right there. That's a skinwalker.
I can't even see it.
Oh, that's a skinwalker. Something that you can't.
Okay. Do you believe in skinwalkers?
They got a Skinwalker Ranch. Where's that place at? Like Nevada or something like that? Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch. There it is right there.
Do you believe in witches?
100%. Yeah.
Because you've had dealings with one.
Well, not just that. Like we burned a bunch of them at the stake, which we now figured out
we
burned
a bunch of them at a stake. Like we were at a meeting. We're just going to burn some witches today.
Which we now figured out was just fungus. I told you about that, yes. Right?
But we've burned witches. So do you believe in witches, Michael?
How could you not?
I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore.
There's witches out there. Now, I'm not saying that they're good and doing anything. I'm not saying that they're like casting spells, but there are witches. There are people that...
Like Wizard of Oz witch.
What do you mean?
Flying around on a fucking broom and shit?
No, there's women out there that are crazy.
They're Wiccans. They're satanic.
Yeah, they're doing like weird stuff, trying to do... I'm not saying that it works because I don't believe in that sort of stuff. Well,
out of the three of us here, you've had a dealing with a witch.
What probably could have been perceived as a witch, but yeah.
Andy was on one of our releases on the river one time and was driving around, and there was a lady. Tell the story.
She wasn't dressed like these people. There was a lady there, and she said she was blessing the land, and
in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. I mean, nowhere.
Yeah, and like she didn't. There was no. She had to get there. The place bordered the river. River's public access in Texas,
and it's a long way from anywhere to get to that too.
It ain't that far, but. This place used to be an old amusement park back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, creepy.
And you get this very much so like Friday the 13th kind of vibe whenever you hunted this place because a
couple of people died there.
3 people died there because it was during segregation, so they had a white pond, a black pond, and a Mexican pond, and somebody died in each pond. But the swing sets are still there. The miniature golf is still there.
You know, the wind blows and
yeah, the Ferris wheels are still there. So like, it's a very creepy place. So I don't know if like she heard about this on like Yahoo or whatever, and you know, like I justify things. I still got it was a great turkey hunting spot. I got to go back there. Of course I'm gonna.
So he drives by.
Of course I'm gonna downplay it in my mind.
He sees this lady and then he just leaves her.
Well, I'm not gonna ask her if she needs help. She seemed like she had it.
Thank you.
So if you're walking through the woods, Michael, and you come upon these ladies at a deer carcass just sitting under a tree, is it going to freak you out a little bit?
Yeah, not much bothers me, but that would definitely freak me out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't care how strong your mental game is. Like that one's gonna. It was tough going in there for turkey. I'm not gonna lie. I had to turkey hunt there a couple times, and I'm like, what if she's back? Because I at least when I encountered her, I was at least in my pickup, so I could just
run over her,
haul ass and leave. Like if we equal the playing field and I've got decoys and shit like that, like I'm not as fast in my turkey vest as I am in my tennis shoes.
I've always said if you want to really creep some fucker out,
you're gonna level up.
You get an audio of a bunch of kids playing on a playground somewhere.
This would have been the place to do it,
and just play that in the middle of the night with some sucker sitting there. I don't give a shit where you're hunting at, deer lease, no matter what. If you're in a deer stand and you hear that, you'd be like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Yeah, I have not had any encounters with any ghosts or witches or any of that type of stuff that I can recall. Anyways.
Even like dolls. Like if you were to run across a doll in the woods, that one's gonna stick with you for whatever. Like just a sweet innocent doll just sitting on a tree stump. Guarantee you.
There's a ranch over here where we hunt on across, not very far from the lodge, and they've got a bunch of old mechanical. They're those riding, like if you bought your kid a Corvette or a tractor, you know, just one of them battery operated things that kids get at Christmas time. And there must be 50 of them there. And they're sitting in this little, where it's a water puddle. And I'm like, who the fuck just brings this shit here and leaves it? I mean, and why?
I got to try to find this. You said something about talking about coming across a doll. It's been a few years ago, but when I was turkey hunting, I came across a doll in the middle of the woods, like just the head of a doll, a creepy doll. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of creepy. I'm sure it was just a doll that got lost years and years ago. But
that's what you tell yourself.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden something grabs your leg, pulls you over.
I'm trying to find this. I saw pictures of this place that we used to have. It was online, like when it was in its heyday, but I can't find it now. But yeah, like there's some weird shit that goes on in the woods. I'm not much on camping, and like I'm definitely not now talking about all this stuff. But
the biggest thing for me is like you know, with like the Bigfoot stuff and all this kind of stuff, is like we have more trail cameras out there now than ever before. So like if you're like if Bigfoot was real, somebody would have a legitimate picture, not one that's like, oh, it looks like kind of like him, or oh, it looks like a guy in a suit, you know, whatever, like those kind of stuff. Like you would have those things.
Let me blow by something on this though. If you think about it, we know for a fact now that there are aliens. The government is yesterday, a new whistleblower come out. Yeah. So which means they're really going to try to cover up some more shit from the Biden spy deal. But anyways, that we have been reverse engineering and recovering wrecks from aliens for years. But there's no good video of an alien there. So if we can't get one of an alien that the government is telling you for sure.
But that's different because
why is it different?
Because aliens are in the sky, and I don't think that they.
Yeah, and everybody's got a fucking cell phone. It's easy in the sky to see.
But
go ahead.
So you're thinking that the government suppresses these videos that get people?
No, I'm just saying that that's my answer too. Is the same with the Bigfoot. Jesus, there's trail cams everywhere. We got mountain lions in Knox County and Haskell County, Texas, but there ain't hardly any on a damn trail cam ever.
Because they're not that prevalent.
Well, maybe Bigfoot's the same way. I'm just saying we know for a fact about this alien stuff, and there's no good videos of it. So that kills that whole thing for me.
There are good videos.
Where?
A lot of good videos. The Tic Tac video, like there's a lot of good Navy pilots. Always have them in the Pacific.
They don't have good cameras.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
But I'm the same with you on the Bigfoot. It just seems to me, as much as you hear about them, you'd think somebody would get one on a game cam somewhere. I mean, or someone would have shot one by fucking now. They don't have Bigfoots in Louisiana because them coon asses would have shot the shit out of that son bitch and ate it, and it would be good.
So here's a Tic Tac right there. I mean, that's from the Navy.
A Tic Tac.
The Tic Tac video. That's what they called this UFO. The Tic Tac. And this guy was like, it was there 1 minute. It was hovering above the water. You can see the ocean moving underneath it. And then it was above me the next. He's like, I've never encountered anything like that. So, every Joe Schmo has a game camera out now. Multiple game cameras on their property.
Every 12-year-old and up person in a big city has a cell phone, and they see these videos, and you hear about them all the time being spotted, but nobody has a good video. There's videos of lights, but there's not a good video.
You got to be over the South Pacific.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to believe any of those videos anymore. Like I said, I can't find the doll video, but it was creepy.
Since a minute ago you said something about politics, I'm going to get your opinion on this because I listened to a podcast yesterday and they were talking about this. I want your opinion on Elon Musk. Good guy, bad guy?
You know, I don't know. I don't know enough to like really make a informed decision on Elon. You know, I know that. What I do like about him is, and from what it seems to me like, obviously businessman, but also seems like he's kind of a no bullshit kind of guy. Kind of doesn't put up with the, you know, the way of the corruption and that type of stuff. To an extent, at least, you know, it's hard to say. Like I said, somebody doesn't get into that position. I don't feel like without like kind of taking advantage of certain situations.
Right.
But. Yeah, I mean, he seems kind of like no bullshit, and I do like that about him for sure.
Seems like a good guy. Same with me. Ron DeSantis, good guy, bad guy?
I like the stuff that I've seen out of him. Seems like he's the same way, and that's what I always liked about Trump. And I realized like Trump, I remember at the time, like I was like, is he the best person to run the country of the United States? Like, probably not. But I like that he's no bullshit and he's calling out all the. He's not a politician. That's what I like. He's not a career politician. He isn't like formed his whole way to groom that to go that direction.
Okay,
you know he was doing it because he wanted to do it, not because he needed to do it or not because he had some agenda to push. In my opinion,
okay,
that was kind of what I just like no bullshit. I don't like when it comes to that stuff. Like, cut the crap. There's so much of that going on in politics that everything is just covered up and jaded and.
Trump,
I like the straight to the point.
Give it to me straight.
Trump was my third person I was going to ask you, and the fourth person I'm going to ask you about is Robert Kennedy.
Yeah, that's probably a little past my. I'm too young to know much about the Kennedys.
Well, no, the new Kennedy that's running for president.
Robert Kennedy, RFK Jr.
RFK Jr. that's running.
Oh, yeah. Same. I have not followed any of that stuff too closely. So
here's the reason I ask, and this was an interesting point today. I was listening to this deal, and it caught my attention because it was very interesting, and I'll give you my opinion on him. I think Elon Musk is a very, very, very smart man. He is very dangerous, but he's also very good for us. He's dangerous because he's way above a lot of people and can do a lot of things, controls a lot of our world, just through his Starlink especially.
Yeah.
DeSantis, I'm not sold on. I think DeSantis is a deep stater. I like Donald Trump a lot. Robert Kennedy, his dad was murdered by the CIA. His uncle was a sitting president, was murdered by the CIA. His cousin was killed by the CIA in a plane crash because he was fixing to be the senator in New York. The Democrats love the Kennedys, but they don't like the Kennedys because they can't control the Kennedys. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So I think Robert Kennedy Jr., his life is in danger right now, because I don't think the deep states can have any problem trying to bump him off for what they've done to his family members.
They've done 3.
Floor to you, Andy. All the 4 people, what do you think?
Elon Musk is an evil genius. He's going to change our world for the good or the better. I don't know yet. He did take over Twitter and kind of cut out a lot of riffraff there. DeSantis, he's got Florida in a good spot. Sounds like he might be in bed with Disney, and that was a whole gotcha moment. Or not a gotcha moment, but... Symphony, he played us there. Trump is a great businessman. He was not a politician. So if you're looking for somebody that knows policy in and out, Trump was definitely not your guy, but a go-getter, I would say so. And I've already said Robert Kennedy is my guy. Because here's the person I want. Doesn't matter. On either side. I want the person that the establishment does not want. So when the Republicans were saying, no, we can't have Trump doing things, that automatically tells me like maybe there's something there. And now the Democrats are doing it with Kennedy, so I'm kind of the same way. But
I just want somebody that can stand up at least.
Yes.
And talk.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Having a full sentence and full thoughts would be a bonus.
That should be a prerequisite, I would say.
You can't tell me that our media is not controlled by the same people that control the president. There is no way that a normal media could sit there and look at the shit that the Biden family's done, that Biden and everything they want you to think that Trump is so bad about, that Biden is. I mean, Biden is everything that they said Trump was, and it just blows my mind. They don't even try to get in the middle of it. I mean, they don't give him any questions. He goes on vacation every weekend. He don't work on the weekends at all. He's had every anti-American group and person in the world has come to the White House. And he can't even speak or do anything. They don't even question that. And it just amazes me. And you've got a guy now wanting to run for president on the Democratic side, and they want to censor him too.
Yeah, they took down a video. So RFK Jr. went on the Mike Tyson podcast. I guess it was a while back, and basically said what happened to his dad. Like Sirhan did not kill his dad, and that clip has magically disappeared from gone off of YouTube. You can't find it anymore. So somebody went in there and was like, wait a minute.
Don't talk too much about it. This podcast will vanish.
Yeah. I already couldn't put one episode on YouTube because of one that we did this week. But
we ain't scared of them fuckers. Fuck YouTube.
Fuck if we're not. I'm scared of everybody.
Well, I mean, YouTube. Thank God we went to Spotify where we can do stuff. But it's ridiculous the way they censor certain things. Didn't they come out now on Instagram and said you can talk about the election?
Don't get me a line.
Your mom sent you a link to it because she sent it to me also.
Oh,
but I don't trust them on anything. I mean, free speech is not free if you're a conservative.
Hey, I'm going to switch it back to hunting. And I'm going to tie it in here in a minute. What's the most off the wall thing that you would ever consider going after and shooting with a bow?
Man, I already did it. My brown bear hunt in Alaska.
That's the crazy thing.
That was kind of the bucket list hunt for me. I do want to do a Yukon moose hunt, but those aren't as risque or crazy or, whatever. I haven't done any like mountain lion hunts or any, like, one thing I would do, and I'm not big on like Africa. I don't have a ton of desire. I mean, I know I would love to go over to Africa. It'd be a lot of fun, right? I mean, you hunt a bunch of different species. Like, there's a lot of, it would be fun, right? But it's like, not like, I'm not like, feel like I need to do that. But one thing I would do is do a spot and stalk Cape buffalo hunt. I think that would be cool. They're obviously
with a
extremely
bow?
dangerous and,
shit.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the deal? We had a guy on yesterday. He was talking about the new craze is heavy arrows. What's the deal with that? What's happened there?
Yeah, it's like with anything, man. You get these trends and people go crazy and they go one extreme or the other. Back 10 years ago, it's all about speed and lightweight arrows and as fast as you can get a bow. And then now everybody's big on the kinetic energy and super heavy arrows. And, like I said, you could take it to either extreme either way and get results. But for me, I hunt enough, mainly I'm hunting, mid-size, big game. So, deer, whitetail deer, mule deer, occasional elk. And so I do like a heavier setup. I like to shoot an expandable broadhead. So naturally, I want a little bit heavier setup, higher, weight forward, just to get better penetration. And so I kind of yield towards a heavier arrow, but not like crazy outlandish heavy. I'm shooting like either 475 to 500 grain is my total arrow weight. A lot of guys, like if you go to like Africa and if you go on like a moose hunt, they may want, you may want to shoot kind of a heavier beefed up arrow. But I shot that brown bear with a 500 grain arrow right in the chest. It actually went in his chest, hit his shoulder blade, ricocheted down, came out his hind quarter, full pass through, all the way at 12 yards. So like it, blew right through him, no problem. And I've shot a lot of deer with it, that same setup, and had a lot of good success. So like with a moose or a Cape
buffalo, could you potentially get by with 500 with your just normal setup, or do you feel like you'd have to shoot a heavier arrow?
Yeah, no, I think you could for sure. You could lend a little heavier, just with a 2-bevel blade broadhead, just with no resistance, or even a 3-blade, less resistance, very little resistance. I think that'd be plenty with it. If I did the Cape buffalo deal, I would probably beef up a little bit. Moose, I think I'd be comfortable with my setup, but I would definitely use fixed blade rather than an expandable on those bigger game.
Because we had somebody on, it's been like way long ago when we first started the podcast. They went over to Africa and shot monkeys, and they were like, this, you see these dead monkeys up close, and it's a little too close to home. But I started watching Chimp Empire last night on Netflix, and number one, the footage is amazing. I don't know how they get that footage.
What are you watching?
Chimp Empire on Netflix.
What is it?
They follow a chimp troop over in Uganda, and like it shows them like going out on patrol, guarding their borders, and then like when all the males were away this one time, one chimp, pork pie, poor guy, 41 years old, I think.
Is this something that I'm going to be interested in watching?
I think it's going to turn sad, so just hold on.
Okay.
But anyway, all the males are like, we got to go to the northern border. We got to go to the wall for all the Game of Thrones watchers. And anyway, pork pie is like, no, fuck this. I'm going back. I'm going back to the main tree. Well, while all the big males were away, another group, the Westerners, moved in because they don't have a good fruit tree. So they came to eat these guys' fruit tree, and they caught pork pie alone, and they killed pork pie. And I got real sad last night because like they all...
Savage.
I did.
I'm not going to watch this because it would make me sad too.
But I'm
laughing.
They got Gus. they got Gus. He's a 21-year-old chimp, and like he's an outsider. He's got a little bit fucked up ear, and nobody likes him. He tries to groom the big males, and they like take the grooming and leave. And Gus noticed Pork Pie was dead, and got awfully sad. But it was funny because like I got to thinking, like when we had that person on that was talking about shooting monkeys, they were like, it was fun until you walk up to the dead monkey, and then like it looks like a human face kind of dead there. So I didn't know if monkeys were on your list or not.
No, I don't have any desire to go chase hunt monkeys.
But no, he don't want to be on the
Definitely
news for killing Harambe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you'd have to sell me. It'd have to be pretty good, circumstances of reason to do it, I guess.
Like
Yeah,
a lot
I don't
of
have any
Do
desire.
they eat them?
what?
Do the natives eat the monkeys if you kill them? Like they eat, like if you shoot an elephant, that meat is going to get
right.
used over there. If you shoot a rhinoceros, whatever you shoot, I
can't
wonder
remember.
if they eat monkeys.
I'd have to go back. Probably not. No. I'd have to go back and listen.
I wouldn't think so, but you never know, man.
I mean, the fucking
that's some
Donners
savage
did, so
stuff.
I couldn't.
But the chimps would go. The chimps eat monkeys.
Well, yeah,
They'll fucking chase them down and rip them open just like that. Showed it last night. Like a chimp grabbed a monkey like this and just went, split it open like a toothpick.
Yeah, dude, they are savage. Nature is
Freakishly.
crazy.
And like that's what bothers me is like, it shows all these baby chimps and stuff like that, and you're like, like they're gonna have a hard life.
well, they live 41 years old.
Nature's a savage.
How old do they get?
There's one that's 60 years old.
Is he the big boss?
Well, no. She's the mother of an alpha of the Westerners, so she's kind of
She gets free pass.
pretty much so. But
60 years
61-year-old
old. That's
chimp, and
crazy.
she just like waddles up, gets groomed, and then goes back and goes to sleep.
So what is their whole day? What does their day consist of? Grooming and getting and eating.
Grooming and getting drunk off of fermented fruit.
Do they wash their food
No,
in water?
no.
I've seen where there's some monkeys that do. They will wash potatoes in water to get the. So
Some
I didn't
do.
know.
One of what they love honey. Chimps love honey. Little known fact.
Andy's laughing his ass off here. It must be a funny honey story coming.
Okay, this is getting more close to home.
Yeah,
than we
they
talk
love
about
honey.
it.
So like they get this one guy, and like he's the forager of the group. So he goes, finds where the honey is, and then like just barrels in there and like makes his call, and all the chimps come, and like those bees are just biting the shit out of him, and like he's just like licking bees off of his finger and just dripping with honey.
Look like a fat guy at a donut shop.
Oh, it's a good show so far, but I have a feeling it's gonna. I think there are like 5 or 6 episodes, so it's gonna
It's
be one
called
of those,
Chimp World.
Chimp Empire.
Chimp Empire.
But like, I'm out on shooting monkeys.
it's-
Like, if that opportunity ever arises and somebody's like, "Hey, come over to Africa and snipe monkeys," because that's how they had to do it, right? Like, they weren't even up close and personal shooting monkeys. They had to do it with like a big scope.
I don't.
You don't remember this episode?
I remember the guy talking about shooting a monkey and it being, but I don't remember going into all the details.
Yeah, like I don't even think like
You just got back from Costa Rica. How hard is it to shoot a fucking monkey? They were all over y'all.
different monkeys, Jeff.
But it's monkeys.
Yeah, I don't know. So, how many episodes are coming out? Heartland Bowhunter. How many we got? Our usual.
So we got the new season is 13 new episodes, and so that'll start airing in July or late June, early July is when that first week airs. And so the premiere episode is going to be an episode of a buck that I killed in Missouri last year called Floppy, and that'll be, I'm not sure, can't remember which episode in the season, but later in the season. But we just kind of pick one of our better episodes to use for the premiere. So like that'll be kind of a sneak peek of that episode. And then the Heartland Waterfowl episode that we're going to be showing at the premiere is pretty cool. Alex, one of the guys, drew an emperor goose tag and went up to Alaska and did that hunt. So that was kind of cool for me. I like to waterfowl hunt too a ton, and I didn't know a lot about the emperor goose until he drew that tag, and I was learning about that and how it's for non-residents, it's kind of a once in a lifetime tag. And so that was pretty cool. They got to go up there, and that trip, it looked like a lot of fun because they shot, they got to shoot eiders. They got to shoot, what are those little, they're not ducks or what? They're not waterfowl. They're like
Ptarmigan.
Ptarmigan up in Alaska. Yeah. Ptarmigan. I tried to shoot some of those with my bow when I was up there on a blacktail hunt one time, but yeah, they got to shoot a bunch of different stuff. Brant geese, I believe, too. And so just different. It's one of those experiences. It's like, we grew up in the Midwest hunting, mallards and gadwall and geese. And
are the ptarmigan fast, or are they just really small and hard to get an arrow on?
They are, they're fast. I would say they're not. Yeah, I mean, I guess they are pretty fast. They get up and go when they get the wind and stuff. It's always
so
windy up there.
You never could connect with your bow?
No, I never did. I think I missed a couple times. Usually they'll kind of flush, when you get too close, and so it's hard to kind of do. But it was one of those deals we were like killing time midday when we were stopping.
I saw the duck blind that you're building. That thing looks like it's going to be nice this year. Is it completed, or are you still working on it?
Yeah, that's cool. No, we got it all. We got it all done, except for we were going to waterproof it last weekend, but we got too much rain, and we were going to put it out and waterproof it. And it's a buddy that I waterfowl hunt with, Scott. It's kind of his project. He's kind of running. He kind of just put together some plans based on stuff he had kind of researched and whatever. But it'll be cool. It's going to go out like in an area in the marsh that we hunt quite a bit, and so it'll be one of those deals. Have like a cool, permanent, comfortable blind.
Are you going to try to like bow hunt out of it, or are you just like shotgun only at that point?
Yeah, probably just shotgun out there. I mess around. I know we talked about it last time I was on about shooting geese and stuff with a bow. But usually I haven't done it on in flooded areas, marshes and stuff like that. It takes a special setup, but I have seen videos of, I can't remember who the guys are. There's some guys down in Arkansas in flooded timber, and they shoot them with bows. And, that seems like a pretty good setup because once those birds, get down in the timber, they just light and just work right down to the decoys.
Because they have to be on the ground, right? Like, it's very, very difficult in the air unless they're just like hovering.
Yeah. You guys know who Tim Wells is? The schlock master. He shoots them out of the air, and he's got like a bird tip that goes on the end of the arrow. I went with him a couple of years ago and I was just calling and filming for him, and he killed one out of the air. So it's very, very difficult to do, though. I mean, you got lots of shots to get.
Did he show you his
down.
Bigfoot video? So. He's got a very compelling one.
Oh, does he? Yeah, I bet he does.
It's on YouTube.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can find it. Yeah, type in
okay.
Tim Wells Bigfoot. We watched it not long ago, and he's tromping through the woods somewhere, and then
he's in Idaho, I think.
It scares him because he's like he runs back, like, give me the camera. You'll just have to watch it. I think it's somebody in a hoodie, but you can be the judge of it because like when the figure stands up, it's got a little bit of like a dome head, and I'm like, I think somebody got caught where they shouldn't have been, and they pulled their hoodie over their head and realized they needed to get the fuck out of there. But that's a dangerous game to play, like with hunters and stuff.
Okay.
I don't know that I would be comfortable. I don't know that I'd be comfortable shooting Bigfoot because I would, in the back of my mind, I'd be like, is somebody playing a prank on me?
Yeah, I don't think there's a season for Bigfoot. I don't think it's open game.
I didn't get drawn for that tag.
I don't think you just like stumble across
Bigfoot. If you shoot him, would you not be nervous that his family members are going to come rip your arms off?
Well, first I'd be nervous that there's going to be a mask, and like that my buddy's going to be underneath.
You're getting off on that. If your dumbass,
and they're filming
if your dumbass is wearing a fucking Bigfoot deal and you get fucking plugged, you ain't getting fucking. Nobody's going to. No.
You don't think so?
Fuck no. You're going to get off. Yeah. If you're stupid enough to wear a fucking Bigfoot deal during hunting season, that'd be a good episode for Jackass. Is Johnny Knoxville to put a fucking little fucking Yeti suit on and run around Colorado during the dove season, Bigfoot season. Somebody's gonna shoot your ass.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's gonna happen to you. I would be more nervous if I shot that big fucker and I'm sitting there looking at the size 37 feet, and all of a sudden it's quiet around there, and you think, oh shit, I'm never gonna be able to get this son of a bitch field dressed into the car.
If it's like Chimp Empire, you're gonna know that others are around. They're very vocal.
Well, they let Potbelly die.
I'm too scared to watch that Chimp Empire now.
Pork Pie, what a name.
Pork Pie and Gus.
So do they have like do they have like politics there where like somebody's the boss and they've got
they got alphas.
So it's the whole like a wolf pack.
Yeah, but
you
have to groom each other. That is a way of showing like your relationship. So all of the betas will watch the alpha and who he grooms, because that is an indication of who's in his alliance. So things are setting up for the alpha to get toppled over, because the two betas, the two strongest ones, the ones underneath the alpha, they've been doing a lot of social networking, a lot of grooming. They have been. They're getting ready to topple Augustus. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
So they can tell this through grooming.
Yeah, that's how they tell who's with who.
I'm gonna tell you what, monkeys are fucking smart as shit. Michelle Instagram watches them suckers. Hell, they ride a bike. They can know how to put pants on and stuff. I mean, they're.
You think that aliens are like podcasting right now, like laughing 100%. About us, like humans are smart as shit. God, they're down there biting each other, killing each other.
What gets me about the alien things is I was reading one of them reports, and it's like they've been here for hundreds of years. Well, fuck yeah. I mean, I would expect from the same time back in the Indian days they were here in the land bridge and everything. I mean, who knows? I don't think they just happened to pop around here around 1964 and it's like, oh, look what we fucking found.
We don't know how far back it goes.
Well, I'm hoping to come across one this fall.
You'll get them. What trips all are you taking this year? Have y'all got your schedule lined out yet?
Not too terribly dialed in, but I didn't draw much out west. I drew a General Montana deer tag. So I'm going to go out there and chase mule deer early season. That'll be my first hunt. And then I drew a Colorado Eastern Plains whitetail tag, which is I'm gonna be hunting on a ranch that I helped manage over the past few years and have had a lot of success on. It's a sweet place. So I'm looking forward to that. But I actually drew Kansas again this year, which Kansas for us to draw. I'm a Missouri resident, but it used to be where I hunt in Kansas, out like basically northwestern Kansas. You could draw that tag every year, no problem. And now it's got to the point where it's more difficult to draw. I didn't draw it last year, so I went in with 1 point this year and was able to draw.
So nothing too crazy.
And then I should draw Iowa as well, which that's exciting too for whitetails. For me, the pinnacle of whitetail states are Kansas and Iowa, and then Eastern Colorado. Like those are the three best places to hunt whitetails in my opinion.
All right, so late June, early July. Heartland Bowhunter is back on air. Is this event that you've got coming up next week? Is it like sold out, or can people still attend somehow?
Yeah, no, it's free. It's a free event, open to the public, and so it's on June 17th. The doors open at 6:00. So it's a cool, fun, and free event. We got, thousands and thousands of dollars in prizes that we're going to raffle off, and then like Yeti made. I don't have the actual one, but we have like 200 of these new Yeti Yonder bottles with the Heartland Premier logo, embossed in it, that we're giving to the 200 people in the door. Onyx gave us 100 1-year elite membership to give to the 200 to 300 people who walk in the door. So the first 300 people that walk in the door are going to get a pretty sweet prize, and then we raffle off a ton of other stuff. So it's a fun event. The doors open at 6. And then at 7:00, we'll wrap off a few items and start the showing, and then, just have a big party. So it's a good time.
What time will you be home on this night? Is this like a 2 or 3 in the morning type of an event, or are you going to keep it pretty tame?
It's kind of varied over the years. We kind of hang out and linger, as long as people are there hanging out. But actually I'm staying at the place, this year. So, I've stayed. I think last year I stayed there too. So over the years it kind of depends, but usually is a pretty fun crowd. It's Father's Day weekend this year.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure it'll be a lot more of families and stuff. That's why we bumped it up a little bit earlier. But still, it seems like there's always those rowdy few that like to hang and stay late. So we'll have a good time regardless.
Just keep your liquid IV on hand. That's all you got to do. You'll be all right that way. That's right. Listen, it's been a lot of fun talking to you. Keep up the good work with everything that you've got going on, and have fun at the premiere, and look forward to watching you on Heartland Bowhunter. So it's been a pleasure talking to you again.
Yeah, good catching up again, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
appreciate it.
Take care of yourself. God bless you, and go Chiefs.
Yeah, that's
go
right.
Mahomes. That's where he goes the way the Chiefs go. Chiefs go the way that he goes.
Yeah, I agree with you. Same with Tom Brady. Everywhere you go.
Pay the man. Thanks, Michael.
See ya, bud. Bye.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, guys.
Oh, pork pie. He didn't make it.
I'm going to have to check that out tonight. That might be what we just, kind of funny. We just watched Honey Boo Boo, so we might as well watch Chimp Empire.
He should have just stayed with the pack. I don't know. He got nervous. He got nervous when they were out on patrol.
I can't get attached to pork pie knowing he's going to die. So I'm going to tell Michelle, listen, don't pick him.
You're going to love the shit out of pork pie.
We're going to have to check it out. That's a name. That's like, there was a lady that she dated a guy named Pot Roast. And I was like, he's not pretty.
Right.
Nobody pretty is named Pot Roast, but he's got damn good personality.
Yeah. Then you got all these little chimps running around, little baby chimps, and they got a lot to learn about the ways of the world. But yeah, grooming is
big.
That's the way to do it.
They needed some of that shit at Ellis Island. Whew,
you gotta pick all the bugs off of your running mate.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. Have a great weekend. Don't forget about our Patreon. Then we're gonna have Stanfield, the first family of waterfowl, will be coming out in July. Look forward to having that drop on our YouTube channel. Check us out on YouTube. Check out all our sponsors. Thank you very much. See you at Squad Fest this year. Andy will be there. Him and Jesse. Go by and buy him a beer. Peace out.
Go check out our sponsors. Go check out Double T British Kennels. It is puppy time. You can get on the waiting list right now. Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitters, Alpha Outdoor Specialties, Ducks Unlimited, Looking Glass Podcast, Lucky Duck, Dirty Duck Coffee, Shin Gear, Pacific Calls, Boss Shot Shells, and Dive Bomb Industries.